Everyone is going crazy because Amber Rose became a Trump supporter and she spoke at the RNC convention and people are like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And even conservative Christians are super excited about this, but that might not be a good thing. So make sure to watch till the end because I'm going to show you my thoughts on why it might not be that great of a thing.
The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse. And I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because there's so many right-wing Christians who think like Donald Trump is going to bring all of these amazing conservative values back to where they belong. He very well could. People need to realize he's not our savior, and people need to realize maybe he's not this amazing Christian that everyone thinks that he is. There's so many more videos out there about Amber Rose talking really bad about Christianity, and pretty much her views hasn't changed. So let's continue to watch. She's not even for any of the conservative values. That's what's weird about it. She's like pro-Trump, but not pro-life, not against the homosexuality lifestyle, and plus she still has an OnlyFans and so many other things that is way against conservative values. Oh yeah, and definitely she is still pro-abortion, which doesn't make much sense.
Satanists are just, they're atheists as well, but they're just more political.
Okay.
They have like it's actually a very rational, logical religion. They help a lot of people, a lot of women to get abortions in southern states that, where they're illegal. They help a lot of the gay community, the LGBTQ plus community. They're really great with that.
Yeah, that's kind of weird how Satanists just go against everything that the Bible tells you. Oh yeah, we're going to help all the people get abortions. I wonder why, because that's killing life. And then we're going to support all the LGBTQ community. You know why? Because that is supporting against life. They cannot create life in the LGBTQ community.
A lot of Christians that I have met throughout my life, I found to be very delusional and liars. And so that's what initially started me into looking into atheism. Not to say that every Christian is like that, because I don't believe anything is a monolith. I realized that I was an atheist. I just believe in science. I believe in evolution. I don't believe that God, gave us Jesus as his son from a virgin mother. And I definitely don't believe in the Bible. I think it's like cool stories, but I don't believe in most of the stories in the Bible. This is probably gonna make people really mad, but I believe that Jesus was a cult leader. And I believe that it actually worked. And they spread his word all around the world.
Jesus is a cult leader? Have you said that publicly before?
Oh my goodness. And this is the person everyone maybe is thinking like, yeah, this is some woman who's now becoming some super conservative Christian value person, but that's just not the truth. And I think it can become dangerous when we have so much support for just one person. They're the standard for Christianity, or they're the savior of Christianity in our country. Maybe it's just not everything that it seems,
Maybe. Probably on my podcast.
Because I just felt the internet shake. Maybe that was God. Huh? Wait,
Jesus, that you?
Jesus is a cult leader?
Yeah. I think it's more likely that he was a cult leader, yeah. I mean, just think about it, Jason, Live, by my word, do as I say. I'm a selfish God.
How is Jesus a selfish God? He literally came down on this earth, gave up his complete ability to be God during that time, and he purposely lived a human life, and he came in this world to serve, not to be served. He was a servant. He came to give up his life. He was the exact opposite of selfish. He was selfless.
Spread the word around the world about who I am. And then the people around him were just like, you're crazy. We're going to kill you. Because you're like indoctrinating all these people into your belief system. Like, cults don't have to always be, you know, I mean, he had some good lessons along the way, but.
Not he had some good lessons along the way.
Now, here's a video of what do you mean, kind of explaining the all-around problem when it comes to this situation.
Now, of course, she's free to believe whatever she wants to believe. And as some have correctly stated, conservative and Christian aren't the same thing. I also don't have a problem with Christians and conservatives trying to reach people on the outside either. But platforming people like Amber to speak on behalf of the conservative or Christian movements when they don't share any of their values doesn't make much sense to me. And this is where I started to think about just how deep that problem really goes. Initially, I couldn't make sense of why so many self-proclaimed conservative Christians were happy to have someone speaking at the RNC who was pro-abortion. And then I thought about how Donald Trump is even pro-abortion in some cases, as we heard him clearly state a couple of weeks ago.
Women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart.
Now, leaving aside how Biden and Trump weren't debating pro-life and pro-abortion, but only instead which babies are okay to terminate, makes me wonder if conservative values are shifting and what to. And perhaps more specifically, all of this has led to the question you may have been wondering during this entire video. What on earth does Amber Rose have in common with conservative Christians, if not conservative and Christian values? Well, the answer seems to be Donald Trump. Her affinity for Donald Trump is the only thing that she has in common with some people who consider themselves to be conservative Christians. And all of this should make you wonder, how much of the conservative Christian movement today is really more about defending Donald Trump than defending the Christian values laid out for us by Christ? And this is where we accidentally get into trouble. Once we start to unintentionally elevate a man who, just like you and me, is a sinful man, and elevate him and his morality above Christ and his morality. I mean, really think about it. How many of us Christians have been quick to defend his locker room talk and other sinful actions that Trump has committed, and doing so at the cost of compromising the Christian values and ethics laid out to us by Christ? And by the way, don't get me wrong, this most certainly isn't all conservative Christians, and I hope that that's clear. But the real question is it far too many? Well, if it is, then Christians, we have a problem.
And I'm hoping that we really decide to put Jesus first above all else, not just because there's a certain political figure that we like more than another. We still need to remember that Jesus is first, not a political person. We need to put Jesus first and follow what Jesus has called us to do more than anything else. And that's something that's very, very important to realize. So guys, I want to know your thoughts. Please comment down below if you disagree with me. And also, I want to hear your thoughts on this topic and the situation. I love to hear them. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. And you might like this video here. Peace.